Puchukyayak, Pasekfa Nukasin, Chogayanga, Tapu Nukasin. Hello, I'm Alan Salazar, fast runner. I was born in the village of Pasekfa, which today is known as San Fernando, California. My indigenous ancestors trace back to the Tataviam village of Chogayanga in Santa Clarita. Currently, the employee parking lot of Magic Mountain is built over the village of Chogayanga. And we trace back to the Chumash village of Tapu, which is just a few miles north and east of us in Simi Valley. I'm a tribal member of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. We are a federally non-recognized tribe, which means we don't get anything from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. We don't have a reservation. We used a lot of simple rhythm instruments, clapper sticks, which are elderberry and split and hollowed out. A lot of rattles, seaweed rattles like we're making today, gourd rattles, deer hoof rattles, and those were our musical instruments. Those were our rhythm instruments that we use when we sing our songs. When you get north of Point Conception, there is what is called bull kelp. And bull kelp, when it's in the water, if you go to Cambria right now, there's bull kelp a couple 100 feet off the shore, off the beach. And this part right here is about softball size, about a big softball, even a little bit bigger than a softball. This part here could be 15, 20, 30 feet long. This part here could be 7, 8 feet long. So when it washes ashore, it's much bigger. I come and I cut it off, put it in a bag, put a little sand in it, and take it home and dry it and turn it, dry it and turn it, dry it and turn it. If you just let it set, it'll turn to mush and it's no good. When it comes out of the ocean, this part right here is a good 1/2 inch thick. If I was to get one and cut the bull kelp part open, the walls are that thick. It's all water though, or mostly water, 95% water. The process is we've been soaking them we got here about an hour early, and now this makes it pliable, so you can find a stick for a handle that'll fit in there and slide it in as far as you can. I usually put a little glue around in here, but you really don't have to. If the stick fits a little snugger than this, like that one, it's going to dry pretty much snug right onto the handle. So the trick is finding a handle that speaks to you. I got some oak here. The rest of this is off driftwood that we find at the beach. We collect most of ours at Morro Bay and Cambria. You can go to Morro Rock right now. There's dried seaweed there, and you can collect it. What we're going to do today is everyone will have an opportunity to come up and get a piece of seaweed that speaks to them. Then find a stick that fits. If you want a soft sound, you put in black beans. And it'll have a nice, soft sound. If you want a little bit and this one right here has a very narrow neck. So I'm going to find small pebbles that will get through that neck, and it'll have a little bit different sound with the pebbles. I get so anal retentive, I'll put 10 pebbles in and 4 beans and rattle it and go, nope. And I'll take it all out and put in 9 pebbles and 2 beans and go, yeah. So you're just going to play with the sound and the pebbles, what you want naturally. If you do get a little bit bigger, it's going to be a little bit bigger sound, but you can see it's a little bit louder sound. I like to put in some pebbles like that and shake it around because there's still a little sand in there. And then take all my pebbles out. The sand will probably stick to where it's wet, and then re-put them back in there. Because they're all different sizes, you can just play with it. So after Mona talks about the paint, come up, there's no big science, get a handful of pebbles. Get a few few beans. If you don't want the soft sound, just get a handful of pebbles, put them on your table, and then start playing with the stick. Sometimes you find a stick and you go, oh, this is perfect. It's just a little tight. I have a knife, and most of the driftwood is pretty soft, and we can trim it down and get it to fit if it's just close but not quite there. We have glue in the small things, so after you get your pebbles in there, take them in, take them out, get the right sound. You go, okay, put the pebbles back in, that's the sound you want. Put the stick, put a little glue on it, slide it up in there. And the final thing is, if we get a wet rag and wrap it around there and get even the top a little wet, so the stick will slide all the ways up. Try and get your stick as far up as you can. Like I said, we have a knife, so if we need to cut off a little bit, or if we need to cut off a foot of it, we can cut, we can cut it off. So we can play with the length and everything.
Nemosh chome heshikvosh, nemosh eteka shejua, nemosh chome heshikvosh, nemosh eteka shejua, lali o yoenne, lali o yoenne, lali o lio yoenne, la yo I willene, la yo I wille. Nemosh chome heshikvosh, nemosh eteka shejua, nemosh chome heshikvosh, nemosh eteka shejua, lali o yoenne, lali o yoenne, lali o lio yoenne, la yo wa willene, la yo wa wille.
I am Mona Lewis. I have been a teacher in Waldorf education for the last 25 years plus. And so what's going to happen today is you are going to make paint in order to decorate your rattle. If I wanted to make paint out of this, I'd have a pretty hard time grinding it up. But if I wanted to make paint out of this, I probably would get a beautiful buttery color. So what we do is get a mortar and pestle and test the rock, make sure it works, and literally just pound it up. And that's what makes these different powders here. So this is all just rocks that we found locally. All the colors that are here are local colors. And we grind it into a paint, add water, and paint with it. That's it. It's really simple. And ochres are fascinating because they're heat sensitive. So this is a local yellow ochre, but it was probably buried this way, with the yellow touching the soil and the red side was oxidized. It was cooked. So that's what turned it red. And traditionally, cook the yellow rocks in order to turn them different shades of red. So it has to do with the oxidation. Ochre is clay, iron, and oxygen. If it has more oxygen, it's red. And other colors come from other constituents, but that's basically it. So, after you have assembled your seaweed rattle, I'm going to invite you to come over here and choose a palette. Some have your brushes already. Make sure you have brushes, a palette, maybe a palette knife, and then you can use one of my cool little spoons and get just a little bit of color, probably 1/4 of a cup of powder. This is all just ground up rocks right here. If you want to try grinding some rocks yourself for fun, I brought some mortars and pestles and some nice rocks that you could grind up and paint with if you feel like, but you're welcome to use the colors that have already been ground for you. Now, I just want to talk for a quick second about binders. So since it's rocks and water, it's water soluble, and it might wash right off your seaweed rattle. So we want to add a binder to it. And those are on your table. This is gum arabic, which is really acacia tree sap. A binder helps the pigment to bind to the surface. It helps it stick on there. So when you get your powders, put a couple drops of gum arabic in there, stir it around so that you have a nice thick mixture to paint with. This is here to wash your brushes. Please wash them well. It's going to be kind of gritty. And you'll find that each rock behaves differently. So it's not like colors that you would use that you bought at the store. They have their own story to tell you. They don't behave the way you think they're going to. And so it has to be a conversation. If if I put this color here, I say, you're going to go there. It's going to say to me, okay, if you do that, I'm going to do this. And I go, oh, okay, if you do that, then I'll do this. And then it'll be a conversation because you never know exactly. This is with any medium, but especially with natural mediums. You never know exactly what they want to do. So you have to interact. You have to respond in the moment to the paint, which is most of the fun.
Chaya, chaya, hiwa molon. Chaya, chaya, hiwa molon. Tutsa, tutsa, oh, lep ali sal, oh. Tutsa, tutsa, oh, lep ali sal, oh. Chaya, chaya, hiwa molon. Chaya, chaya, hiwa molon. Tutsa, tutsa, oh, lep ali sal, oh. Tutsa, tutsa, oh, lep ali sal, oh.
So this is a bear teasing song that you can sing with your rattles. This is a version that I learned, I think, from Tony Romero. It's talking about the village of Hename, which is Port Wainimi. And the song goes, Hename, Hename, Hename chachayo. Hename, Hename, Hename chachayo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Since it's a bear teasing song, every verse you sing a little faster. Henna-may, 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 chit-hi-yo. Henna-may, henna-may. Henna-may chachayo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Okay, sing along. Ready? Henna-may, henna-may, henna-may chachayo. Henna-may, henna-may, henna-may chachayo. Henna, henna, henna. Henna, henna, hi-yo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Henna-may, 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 chichayo. Henna-may, 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 chichayo. Henna, 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 hi-yo. Henna, 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 hi-yo.